Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. And today we'll be discussing the theory for the chapter Living World, and we'll also discuss the DPP related to this chapter. So, this is the part 2 of the lecture. Before starting this lecture, I just want to give you one information that the images, text, and other materials used in our presentations are for education purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners. If you are the owner and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathee@itk.ac.in and we shall remove the content immediately. Please know that parts of the content may have been generated using generative AI, which is experimental. Now let's start with the topic taxonomic categories. So classification is not a single step process, but involves hierarchy of steps in which each step represents a rank or category. Okay, so now we are talking about the categories, or you can say them taxonomic categories. Okay, so it is very important to classify the organisms in order to study them. We cannot study, okay, all the organisms present on the planet Earth. So we need to group these organisms into convenient categories based on the similarities or dissimilarities, okay, or based on easily observable characteristics. So classification is not a single step process, but involves hierarchy of steps, and each step represents a rank or a category. So it represents a level, a rank. Now, since the category is part of overall taxonomic arrangement, so this category, this level, which denotes a rank, this is a part of overall taxonomic arrangement. Okay, it is called taxonomic category, and all the categories together constitute the taxonomic hierarchy. Okay, so these categories are basically known as taxonomic categories. What are categories? These are a group of the organisms. And these organisms, they are grouped together into a particular category based on some similarities and dissimilarities. Okay, usually it is similarities and dissimilarity with other organisms. All the categories together constitute the taxonomic hierarchy. Each category refers to as the unit of classification, in fact represents a rank and is commonly termed as taxon. Okay, so category is what? It is a unit of classification. And this category represents a rank, or you can say a level. And it is commonly termed as a taxon. So what does this mean? This means you can call category as a taxon also. So taxonomic category can be called as a taxon, and it represents a rank or a level. Taxonomic categories and hierarchy can be illustrated by an example. So let's understand the taxonomic categories and taxonomic hierarchy using an example. Insects represents a group of organisms sharing common features like 3 pair of jointed legs. So here in this figure, you can see this is an insect which belongs to the phylum Arthropoda. So Arthropoda basically means jointed appendages. So insects, they have a 3 pair of jointed legs. Okay, one is the foreleg, then you have the middle leg, and this is the hind legs. So jointed appendages are present in the insects which belong to the phylum Arthropoda. Now this means that insects are recognizable concrete objects which can be classified and thus were given a rank or a category. So here it is written insects They can be categorized into a group based on a common feature, based on similarity. Okay, like 3 pair of jointed legs. So all the insects having 3 pair of jointed legs, they are placed in a certain group. So this means insects are recognizable concrete objects, and insects can be classified and thus were given a rank or a category. Okay, or a taxon, you can say. Remember, groups represents categories. So the groups of the organism which are placed together, okay, which are kept together based on the similarity. These group basically represents a category, or they represents a taxon. Now category further denotes rank. So these categories, they denote a particular level or a rank. Okay, in hierarchical system, there are different levels, there are different ranks. So this hierarchy exists everywhere. In nature also. Okay. If you take the example of your workplace, your office, hierarchy exists there also. So there are different ranks. Like there are different ranks in the army. Okay. So in nature also, different ranks and different level exist. Each rank or taxon, in fact, represents a unit of classification. These taxonomic groups or categories are distinct biological entities and not merely morphological aggregates. So this is very important line. What does this mean? The taxonomic categories or the groups, they are distinct biological entities. Okay, means they are real natural groups. Okay, that share common characteristics. All right, and they share evolutionary relationship also with each other, and they are not just morphological aggregates. Okay, means they are not merely you can say they are not grouped together based on just morphological features or similarity in morphological features. They are distinct biological entities. Okay, means these groups share similarity with each other. Okay, they share evolutionary relationship also with each other. Now, taxonomical studies of all known organisms have led to the development of common categories such as kingdom, phylum, or division for plants. So for plant, division is used. Phylum is used for animals. And the class, order, family, genus, and the species. Okay, so these are some common categories that have been developed. So all these organisms can be placed in these categories. Okay. All organisms, including those in plants and animal kingdoms, are species, have species as their lowest category. So here you can see the hierarchy here. So these are the common categories in which the organism can be placed based on the similarity. Okay, based on common ancestry, based on evolutionary relationship. Okay. Now, if you talk about plants and animals, the species is always the lowest category and kingdom is the highest category. Okay, so you can see the hierarchy here. Species is the lowest category. It is the lowest level or the lowest rank, you can say. Now the question you may ask is how to place an organism in various categories. So how you can keep the organism, how you can place organisms in various groups. The basic requirement is the knowledge of characters of an individual or group of the organisms. Okay, what is the basic requirement? How can you place different organisms into various categories? So you should have a knowledge of the characters of an individual or a group of organisms. Okay, what are the traits of that individual or the group of organisms? So this helps in identifying similarities and dissimilarities among the individuals of the same kind of organisms as well as of those kinds of organisms. Okay. So what does it help? It helps in identifying the similarities and dissimilarities among the individuals of the same kind of organisms, as well as similarity with other organisms, as well as dissimilarities with the other organisms. Now let's talk about the lowest category here, which is species. Now, taxonomic studies consider a group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities as a species. Now, one should be able to distinguish one species from the other closely related species based on distinct morphological differences. So, you can see here one species is different from other closely related species based on their morphological differences. So, one species will be different from the other species. It will be morphologically different from the other species. Okay. And the individual of the species cannot mate with, cannot interbreed with the individual of the other species. So they are reproductively isolated. So members of a species are reproductively isolated from the member of the other species. Now let us consider Mangifera indica, which is mango, Solanum tuberosum, which is potato, and Panthera leo, which is lion. So let's understand what is species based on these scientific names. All the three scientific names, indica, all the three names, indica, tuberosum, and leo, represent the specific epithet. So specific epithet represents the genus. It indicates the it represents the species. Okay, it indicates the species. While the words Mangifera, Solanum, and Panthera are genera, means the genus, and genus is another higher level of taxon or category. So genus is, you can say, of higher level as compared to species. Species is the lowest most taxon. Above two species is genus. So here Mangifera is a genus, Solanum is a genus, and Panthera is also a genus. Indica, tuberosum, and leo, they are species. Okay. Each genus may have one or more than one specific epithet representing different organism but having morphological similarities. So you can see here each genus may have one or more than one specific epithet, okay, that represent different organisms but having morphological similarities, means they will have morphological similarities but they will be different organism. So if the species is different, then they will be different organisms, means it represent different organisms. Okay, for example, Panthera has another specific epithet. So one was leo, another one is tigris, and Solanum includes species like nigrum and melongena. So there is Solanum nigrum also, and there is Solanum melongena also. Okay, so a single genus can have more than one specific epithet. Here you can see this example of species. Okay, this is penguin here. This is a scientific name. Forsteri, this is a species here. Tigris is a species here, and Plexippus is a species here. All right. Then Aptenodytes is a genus, Panthera is a genus, and Danus is a genus. Now, human beings belong to the species sapiens, which is grouped in the genus Homo. So, what is the scientific name of human beings? Homo sapiens, where Homo is the genus and sapiens is the specific epithet which indicates the species. Scientific name thus for human being is written as Homo sapiens. Okay, and scientific name, if it is printed, then it is written in italics. Okay, or if it is written, then the specific epithet and the genus, they are underlined separately. Let's talk about the genus now. Genus comprises a group of related species which has more characters in common in comparison to species of other genera. Okay, what is a genus? It comprises of, or it is a group of related species which has more characters in common in comparison to species of other genera. Now, we can say the genera are aggregates of closely related species. Okay, we already know that a genus can have more than one specific epithet. Now, for example, potato and brinjal are two different species, but both belong to the genus Solanum. So one is Solanum nigonum, other one is Solanum melongena. Leo, which is Panthera leo, and leopard, which is Panthera pardus, and tiger, which is Panthera tigris, with several common features, are all species of the genus Panthera. So genus is a aggregation of closely related species. So this genus differs from another genus Felis, which includes cats. Okay. Clear? So this Panthera genus is different from the another genus. Okay, what is another genus? Felis. And this Felis genus includes cats. Let's talk about family now, which is a category higher than the genus. The next category, family, has a group of related genera. So what is family? It is a group of related genera with still less number of similarities as compared to the genus and the species. Now you can notice one thing, that as you are moving up the taxonomic hierarchy, as the rank, as the level is getting higher, then the number of similarities between the organisms, it is also reducing. At the species level, number of similarities, they are maximum. As you are going higher up the taxon, the number of similarities decreases. You have to remember this. Now, families are characterized on the basis of both vegetative and reproductive features of the plant species. Okay, vegetative characters or vegetative features means stem, roots, leaves. Reproductive means the flower and all, inflorescence. Among plants, for example, three different genera, Solanum, Petunia, and Datura, are all placed in the family Solanaceae. Families, they are the aggregates of the genus. Among animals, for example, genus Panthera, comprising lion, tiger, leopard, is put along with the genus Felis in the family Felidae. Okay, so Felidae is a family, and it includes the genus Panthera as well as the genus Felis. So Panthera comprises of the lion, tiger, and leopard, and Felis comprises of the cats. Similarly, if you observe the feature of a cat and a dog, you will find some similarities and some differences as well. Okay, they are separated into two different families, Felidae and Canidae, respectively. So Felidae is for cats, Canidae is for the dogs. Now let's talk about the order, which is again a higher taxon, okay, as compared to the family. It is at higher level as compared to family. Now you have seen earlier that categories like species, genus, families are based on a number of similar characteristics. Generally, order and other higher taxonomic categories are identified based on the aggregates of the characters. Okay. Now, order being the highest category is the assemblage of families which exhibit a few similar characteristic. Again, the word is written few similar characteristic because the similarities they keep on decreasing as you move up the taxonomic hierarchy. So order is an assemblage of the families. Now the similar characters are less in number as compared to different genera included in a family. Okay. So again, the similar characters are less in number. Clear? As compared to the different genera which are included in a family. Now, plants families like Convolvulaceae, Solanaceae are included in the order Polymoniales mainly based on the floral characters. Okay. Means based on their morphological similarities. Now, the animal order Carnivora includes families like Felidae and Canidae. Now, this category includes related order. Let's talk about the class now. What is class? So, class, it includes related orders, means it is an assemblage of the related orders. For example, order Primata comprising monkey, gorilla, gibbon is placed in class Mammalia, along with the order Carnivora that includes animals like tiger, cat and dog. The class Mammalia has other orders also, like Rodentia, Chiroptera. Okay, class Mammalia has, or it includes many orders. So it is an assemblage of the orders. Let's talk about the phylum now. Now, classes comprising animals like fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, along with mammals constitute the next higher category called the phylum. So, phylum is again a very broad category. Okay, and the phylum is an assemblage of classes. It is a higher, it is at higher level, it is a higher category as compared to the class. So, a phylum includes various classes. Okay. So classes which consist of animals like fishes, amphibians, reptile birds, along with the mammals, they constitute the higher category called phylum. Means these are all included in a phylum. So you can see it is a very broad category. So here again the number of similarities between the organisms will be very less. All these based on the common features like presence of a notochord and dorsal hollow neural system are included in the phylum Chordata. Okay. So what is the feature of phylum Chordata? So the members of the phylum Chordata, okay, they have a notochord and they also have a dorsal hollow neural system. Okay. Clear? So what is a notochord? So notochord is usually seen in the embryonal stages. Clear? And this notochord, it plays a crucial role in organizing the, okay, it plays a crucial role in organizing the nervous system. Okay. It helps to organize the developing nervous system. This is the function of the notochord. And notochord and dorsal hollow neural system, they are present in the members which belong to the phylum Chordata. Now, in case of plant, classes with a few similar characters are assigned to a higher category called division. So, in case of plants, we don't use the term phylum. Instead, we use the term division. So, division include the classes with a few similar characteristics. It is an aggregation of the classes with few similar characters. Okay, and it is called division, not phylum in case of plants. Let's talk about the kingdom, which is the, you can say, highest most taxon. Okay, it is the most broad taxon or category. All animals belonging to various phyla are assigned to highest category. So this is the highest category. This is the highest taxon, which is called kingdom Animalia in the classification system of the animals. Okay. Above kingdom, there is a domain, but we are not talking about the domain here. So here kingdom is the highest category. Example is kingdom Animalia. So you can see kingdom Animalia. This is quite broad. It includes all the animals. It includes vertebrates, invertebrates, or you can say chordates and non-chordates. It includes aquatic animals, terrestrial animals, okay, lower organisms, higher organisms. All are included under the kingdom Animalia. So it is very broad. And the similarities between the organism here is least. And similarity is maximum at the species level. The kingdom Plantae, on the other hand, is distinct and comprises all plants from various divisions. So likewise, kingdom Plantae is also very broad and it includes all the plants. It includes, you can say, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, angiosperms. Henceforth, we will refer to these two groups as animals and the plant kingdom. So both of them are very broad categories. So these are very broad categories. However, taxonomists have also developed subcategories in this hierarchy to facilitate more sound and scientific placement of various taxa. Okay, what are these subcategories? Okay, so we have the subphylum here. Okay, subphylum is between the phylum and the class. Okay, between phylum and the class, you have the subphylum. Okay, then you have the super order, which is above the order. So above the order, you will have the super order. Okay, then you have the subfamily. Subfamilies between the family and the genus. Here you will have the subfamily. Okay, and you have the subspecies, which is below the species. Okay, so taxonomists have developed subcategories in this hierarchy to facilitate more sound and scientific placement of various taxa. So this is an image showing you the taxonomic hierarchy. Species is the lowest most taxon here. Okay, and the number of similarities is maximum here at the species level. As you move higher up, then what happens? Okay, finally you reach to the kingdom. Kingdom is the highest category, and here the number of similarities is minimum. Now, can you recall the basis of the arrangement? Say, for example, as we go higher from the species to the kingdom, the number of the common characteristic goes on decreasing. So you have to remember this point. As we are going up higher from the species level to the kingdom level, the number of common characteristic or number of similarities, they goes on decreasing. Now, lower the taxa, more are the characteristics that the member within the taxon share. Okay, lower the taxa means species. Species is the lowest most taxon. More are the characteristic, the traits that the members within the taxon share. So at the species level, the organism which belong to this species, these organisms share a lot of similar characteristics. Okay, higher the category, greater is the difficulty of determining the relationship to other taxa at the same level. Okay, again, this line is very important. Higher the category, suppose we are talking about the phylum or the kingdom, greater is the difficulty of determining the relationship to the other taxa which are at the same level, because the similarities are very less. Okay, clear? Because the similarities are very less, because of this, there is a difficulty in determining the relationship to other taxa which are at the same level. Okay. Now, hence the problem classification becomes more complex here. Okay. So if we consider these broad categories like phylum and kingdom, then the members, they might show similarities in some broad features, like they are multicellular, but still there are a lot of dissimilarities. Okay. Okay. They might be, you can say, similar in some broad characteristics. Otherwise, they are not that similar. That's why it is difficult to determine the relationship at other taxa present at the same level. Now, this is a table that indicates the taxonomic categories to which some common organisms like housefly, mango, and wheat belong. Okay, so this is table showing you organisms with their taxonomic categories. What is the common name? Common name, man. What is the scientific name of man? Homo sapiens. Genus is Homo. Family is Hominidae. Species here is Sapiens. Order is Primata. So Homo sapiens or man belong to the order Primata. Then class Mammalia. Then phylum Chordata. Then housefly, biological name or scientific name Musa domestica. Genus is Musca. Domestica is the species. Family is Musidae. Order is Diptera. Class is insects. And the phylum is Arthropoda. Then you have the mango. Mango scientific name is Mangifera indica. Genus is Mangifera. Family is Anacardiaceae. Order is Sapindales. Then class is Dicotyledone. And division is angiosperms. So whenever we talk about the plants, we use the term division. Now wheat is Triticum aestivum. Genus is Triticum. Family is Poaceae. Order is Poales. Class is Monocotyledone. And again division is angiospermae. Alright. So now you can see what is the scientific name, what is the genus, what is the family. So you should remember some of these. Okay, question can come from this also, this table also. Like what is the genus or what is the family, or to which order the man belongs, or which order the housefly belongs, what is the scientific name of housefly, okay, to which family it belongs, to which phylum it belongs. Now let's summarize this chapter. Okay, this theory that we have studied today. Taxonomic studies of various species of plants and animals are useful in agriculture, forestry, industry, and in general for knowing our bioresources and their diversity. Okay, what is the need of taxonomic studies? So, taxonomic studies of various species of plants as well as animals, they are useful in agriculture, in forestry. It have industrial benefits also, and in general for knowing our bioresources also, as well as their diversity. Okay. There is a need to classify the plants and animals into convenient categories. Then only we can study them. Okay, and after studying them, we can use them. Okay, we can use the biodiversity for various purposes, like we can use it in agriculture, in forestry, in industry. Okay, so we should have a knowledge of our bioresources. which can be used for the human welfare. An organism represents or occupies a place or a position in the system of classification. So every organism, they occupy a particular level or a position in the system of the classification. Or you can say each and every organism belong to a particular category or a particular taxon. There are many categories or ranks and are generally referred to as taxonomic categories or the taxa. Okay. So taxonomic categories are also known as the taxa. And taxa represents a rank or a level of that organism in the taxonomic hierarchy. All the categories constitute a taxonomic hierarchy. So all the categories, what do they constitute of? They constitute a taxonomic hierarchy. Lowest most taxon is species and the highest taxon is kingdom. Above to kingdom, there is another higher taxon known as domain, but we are not talking about the domain here. Okay, so lowest most taxon is species, then higher to species is genus, then higher to genus is family, then above family we have the order, above order is the class, above class is phylum for animals, division for plants, and then the highest most taxon is the kingdom. And as you go up the taxonomic hierarchy, as you go or as you move towards the highest taxon, the number of similarities, okay, within the organism, they decreases, because these are very broad categories. Kingdom, okay, like kingdom animalia, it includes all the animals. Kingdom planta, it includes all the plants. So obviously the similarity will decrease. Clear? So this was the end of the theory. Now we'll start with the DPP related to this chapter. Now let's start with the first question here. Which taxonomic category includes related orders? Okay. What are the options here? Genus, family, class, and phylum. So which is a taxonomic category? That is an aggregation of orders. So what will be the answer here? Okay, the category which includes related orders. Category which is the aggregation of the orders. What should be the answer here? So answer should be option number C. It is the class. So class includes related orders. Now let's discuss this question. In the scientific name Panthera tigris, what does Panthera represents? Okay, so a scientific name has two components, or you can say a biological name has two components. Okay, first one is first word, it represents the genus, and second one is the specific epithet, okay, which represents the species. So there are two components in a biological name. So here the Panthera represents what? What are the options? Option number A is species, B is genus, C is family, and D is order. Okay, the correct answer here is genus. Panthera represents the genus here. Now, which category is characterized by the presence of notochord and dorsal hollow neural system in the animals? Okay. In which category notochord and dorsal hollow neural system is present? What are the options? Phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Carnivora, and kingdom Animalia. So in the members of phylum Chordata, okay, or the members of phylum Chordata consist of the notochord as well as the dorsal hollow neural system. So notochord, as I've told you, it appears in the embryonic stage and it helps in the organization of the neural or the nervous system. Now, which of the following pairs belong to the same family? What are the options? Solanum tuberosum and Panthera leo. Then B is Mangifera indica and Triticum massivum. C is Felis domestica and Panthera leo. And option number D is Homo sapiens and Musa domestica. So what will be the correct answer for this question? The Felis domestica and Panthera leo, this should be the correct answer. Felis domestica is the cat and Panthera leo is lion. They belong to the same family. Now, which taxonomic categories has the least number of common characteristic among the members? So they are asking which category or which taxon has least number of common characters. So you know that as you go up the taxonomic hierarchy, or okay, when you are talking about the highest taxon, which is kingdom, the number of similarities is very less. So as you move higher, as you move towards the higher taxon, the number of similarities decreases. Keeping this in mind, you have to answer this question. So what are the options? Option A is species, B is genus, C is kingdom, and D is class. What will the correct answer? Okay, the answer should be kingdom here. Kingdom is the highest taxon, and the members within the kingdom, they have the least number of similarities or least number of common characteristics. Okay, species is the lowest most taxon, which have highest number of similarities. Okay, so this should be the correct answer here, should be kingdom. So all our answers are correct. So this was the end of the session. I hope the session was quite knowledgeable for you. Thank you very much for listening.